Hello, it's Thursday. Can you believe it's Thursday again? And it's 7 o'clock, and it's me, Stephen Englander, with tonight's live show. So there's an old adage in the business world. I think I first read it with Stephen Covey in his highly effective habits. Sorry, his habits, 7 habits for highly effective people. There's a plug. Start with the end in mind. So it means that everything you do, plan where you want to finish. You agree with that, Graham? Because you're looking at me very, very peculiar.
Yeah. Oh no! Yeah. Oh no! It's the abuse.
Start with the end in mind, and that way you sort of know where you're going.
It's true, and I think I often try and say it in terms of, because obviously I make films, and it's make sure everyone's making the same film.
Just know where you're going to go, otherwise you just drift. But that leads me to saying, when we do these programs, or when you're doing anything, when you're putting anything out there, you should really have what they call a call to action. And a call to action is where you're telling people what to do next. Obviously, what you want them to do is give you lots of money, but to say to people, give me money, isn't the best call to action. So maybe contact me for more information. Watch some of my videos. Call me if you want to talk about anything particular. All great calls to action. Did you wave to me?
I did, yeah. I tested you today, didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
Do you remember on the couch and I was talking about my missus and her taxis?
Oh, yeah.
And the stuff that I spent hours Googling, and you just rolled it off like it was nothing. I was like, oh, fine.
Well, that's because I know what I'm talking about.
Okay, well, yeah.
That's because I've had 30-odd years in practice.
It wasn't meant to be a test.
No, I know it wasn't. No. You were just talking crap and don't know the basics of anything.
I was moaning.
Yeah. What was it you were saying about the...
Well, it was keeping an eye on my partner and her payroll.
She got some expenses, didn't she?
Yes.
They reimbursed her for a taxi that she had to take to get into a work-based training program. Mm-hmm. And instead of giving her the money back, they gave it back as part of her salary and took the tax out of it.
Yeah, they taxed it.
And I said it's, depending on the circumstances, it's probably the right thing to do. But sometimes it's challenging something the best way to work. Sometimes we've got to look at the bigger picture. I mean, sometimes you can have arguments with employees or staff members or the government even. But at the end of the day, we want to get in, we want to get out. We don't want to cause unnecessary problems and warfare. So sometimes biting your tongue, swallowing it, just going with the flow is the answer. I'm not saying roll over, but I'm saying if you've got difficult customers, sometimes the easiest thing to do and the quickest thing is just to give them what they want, refund, give them the better one, apologise, walk away. We all like to be sincere, but there's some people you just, but it's easier. I remember once years ago, I'm going off what I was going to talk about. I don't know if you've ever had any experiences like this, but I was in a shop, it was a client, and they had a manager serving customers. And they had a big queue. And this lady brought something back for something like 50 pence. And it was clear that she had broken it, but she was demanding a refund. And the manager at the till, shouldn't have been at the till if he's a manager, but he was, didn't like this guy, must have been, I didn't like him. But he was round with her. There must have been about 20 people in the queue, and he's round with her. And in the end, he threw the money at her. And I said, you know what, why didn't you just give her the money back in the first place instead of causing all that fight and all that commotion and then give the money back anyway? But I think the point I'm making is don't have a fight. Just do what's the most profitable route, and sometimes it's not worth having a fight with your boss.
This is why Bezos does so well, I'm telling you now, because if I get onto Amazon, they'll have a record of something being delivered, and I'm like, it hasn't, and they're like, well, here's your money back.
Oh, just money back straight away.
Here's your money back, and you know what? Well, I might.
Because you'll earn it back again. You create faith, you create trust. Someone's not going to be arguing with you, but at the same time, it's not worth creating these arguments. Sometimes you feel that I'm not letting them get away with that, but you know what? The energy is let them get away with it. But way up the profit. I mean, if there's a lot to lose, then stand your ground. If it's petty, just walk away and earn it back on them on the next time. But I was until Graham rudely interrupted me. I was actually talking about calls to action. So you basically want, whatever you do, or even if it's just a poster, you want to tell people what you do next. And it's been pointed out to me that I preach a lot about this type of thing, but I haven't done it. So at the end of the videos, I should be telling people that, we've had a bit of fun. Hopefully you've enjoyed the program and you've had some some good advice from it. But what do you do next? Well, I was given a script, and I'm not the best person at remembering or reading scripts. And the idea was to say what to do next. So what they've done was taken a video of all my outtakes, a real blooper, and really to make fun of me. And they've put it all together, and I'm like, what? I'm all over the place. So if you want to watch to the end, see what you think of this as a call to action, and you get to see me at my finest moments. So I think you'd enjoy that. See, I turned that one on you, didn't I, Graham? You thought I was just going to be embarrassed by people watching my bloopers.
No, I think it's nice. It's nice to show you're not just a business titan, you're a human being as well.
Yeah. I'm
Mr. Lou,
I'm aspiring to that. Oh, by the way, sorry to bring us back to reality, but self-assessment tax returns. They should have all been in by now. I know we got a bit of an extension to get them in, but if you haven't got them in, if you've not filed your self-assessment tax return, the best thing to do to avoid bigger problems is let the revenue know that it's on its way. But in the meantime, if you've had an assessment, pay it. If you can't pay the assessment, then get on to HMRC to explain why and see if you can get some concessions on that, or let me know. There's my call to action, and I'll tell you what to do next. Another little bit of interesting news is that the Sybil loans, what they're doing is that you've got to speak to your bank about it, but they're actually allowing a suspended payment holiday for 6 months on interest rates. And you can take that any time during the loan period. They're also willing to extend the 6 years to 10 years. So do move quickly, because windows of opportunity like this do change, and you've only got a sort of time frame that you can apply for that. But 6 years, 10 years, it might ease the cash flow. Right. Sadly, Graham, you've got a quote of the day, haven't you?
I do.
Which one are you using? The one you practiced, or the one that you like better?
Well,
should we do them both?
I was going to do the one that fit with the tone of the show.
Okay.
But just as I was doing the titles for today's show, I noticed you've crossed out the vast majority of the work I did. Even though we had a really interesting chat on the couch.
It's only because it's up here now.
Yeah, I know, but you've dropped everything, even the Greg's talk.
No, I'm going to mention Greg's.
Oh, right.
Greg's the sandwich shop. I just know it in my head now. I don't need 3 pages of Greg.
Oh, I thought you crossed it all the information out that I gave.
It's to stop me getting confused with it, because most of it's crap anyway.
The problem is, Stephen, right?
Yeah.
Your system for not wanting to do a story is the same for your system as I've memorised this and I'm happy, which is go,
I'll forget it anyway. Okay.
So in terms of me keeping up with it,
just get on with your quote, please.
Fine. Today's quote is, "Done is better than perfect," by Sheryl Sandberg.
Who's Sheryl Sandberg?
She's from Facebook.
From Facebook?
Yeah.
I've got people on Facebook. I know people from
Facebook. No. She runs Facebook. She's like
I thought that was that other guy, the Mark Zuckerberg.
The robot man. No.
The robot man.
He's off doing his things now. No. There's people.
Is he not on Facebook anymore?
It's quite a large organisation, and there's several
I've heard of them.
involved. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So done is better than perfect.
Yes.
I sort of get that in this world of not anyone never doing anything, just sort of better get it out there than sit around making everything to perfection. Just do it.
Well, sometimes, because like YouTube, for example, nobody might see the first 100 episodes, but that's when you're learning to do it. And if you beat yourself up after the first one, going, well, this wasn't right. The picture isn't at the exact right place.
Yeah.
Then you're going to beat yourself up. You're not going to enjoy yourself,
no.
and you're not going to learn. And then by the time people are actually like, by the time someone happens across you, they're like, oh, look at him. Well, happy.
No, I agree with that. There's a moderation, isn't there? We don't need to do everything perfectly. We just need to get it done. I suppose that goes in what we were saying before with not arguing with people. Just get things in and out. If you pay to do a job, what you're looking for is to do the job to what the client wants, not what you want. If you feel something could be done better, then talk to the client about it. I think that getting things done is very important, because so many people, they take so long to do everything that it spoils what you were trying to achieve in the first place. So yeah, I do agree with that.
I think the other reason I put it into the show is sometimes the person that's doing the thing is bloody useless at it. So you need it done quickly.
Yeah.
So you can realise quickly that you've really.
Well, it's not really that important either, because sometimes you just want to mark something, don't you? You're probably guessing here that we're digging somebody in the office at the moment, aren't we?
Oh no, this is just general moaning.
It's just general.
In fact, it's mostly self-reflection now.
No, I thought you were just having a go at Hayden.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, that comes later.
That's Hayden's a perfectionist.
He is,
Graham just wants it out there and done, and I'm somewhere in between. I just I just think things need doing. And I know we're all under constant deadlines, and sometimes what people want out of a job is the benefits they get from it. So we don't always need to get caught up in the detail. I mean, years ago I used to bind accounts that I'd finished in lovely blue binders with a nice acetate front, and it was never even open. Clients didn't want that. They just wanted how much money have I made, how much tax have I got to pay, and any problems that I have to discuss with them. They wanted the conversation, not the lovely bound accounts. So, that saved me a couple of quid every time I didn't have to do it. But I've got another case like that. You'll like this one, where I used to deal with a company that used to do training programs for hazardous waste. And they came to me once because they weren't making any money. And I said, no wonder you're not making any money. Look what you're spending on lunch for everyone. They're not paying for lunch, they're paying for the certificate. So, niceties are nice, but we want the jobs doing. We need to look at what people want out of the service you give. So I think that's quite a good quote, Graham. But I like the other one better. Please use it, because I can't remember what you said.
Okay, well, you do realise if I do this, I'm going to have to find another quote next week now.
Or say nothing next week.
It never ends. Say nothing. I know, because this is my baby, the quote of the week, isn't it? I've been pushing so hard for this.
I saw this TikTok video the other day.
Oh,
and this guy and his wife came up to him, and she's having a go at him, and she says, I can't believe it. I've not spoke to you in 2 days, and you've not even said anything to me. So we went up to her, and he cupped her face, and he gave her a kiss and said, thank you. Sorry, what were you saying, Greg?
It's all right, it's fine.
Was that a dad joke?
That was a dad joke.
You
yeah,
hate my dad jokes, aren't you?
I have a growing appreciation for dad jokes.
It shows the more people laugh at my jokes, it shows how intelligent they are. Thick people don't get my jokes.
You keep saying that as if there's a correlation.
If I say it enough.
Yeah. Because there's plenty of things you can go, that's quite clever, that, but that doesn't make
Not my jokes.
No, it doesn't make it funny, though.
Well, I try. I try.
Do you still want the quote? Or is
I
it
do.
just
No,
an
I do. I
excuse?
do want the quote.
Yeah, is it just to get me on camera again?
Yeah, that's what I want.
You can call me stupid.
I've got a picture of you over my bathroom.
What have you?
Over my bath.
Is that because I loosened? Oh, no, I don't
No,
know.
okay, yeah.
Okay, check this out. This is my quote. This is my quote. I love this one.
Okay.
Let your plans be dark and impenetrable as night, and when you move, fall like a thunderbolt. And that's Sun Tzu from The Art of War.
I think we might have to have a 30-second silence after that one. I do appreciate you saying that. Thank you. So now we're looking.
Quote voice. That was amazing quote. I've been working on that all. Oh, you know what? That was awesome.
Graham, I think you might need a bit more sleep. Seriously. But we were we were talking, and before we were talking about has COVID been an excuse for people not to do what they're supposed to be doing, and show any initiative and everything in business. And I've never believed that. I don't think people need an excuse to do nothing. But I think that the COVID has showed remarkable sort of like innovation and strength of character of people. In fact, one of our accountants, one of our client relationship managers, went round to see a client because he was so impressed by what she did. He'd bought her a bottle of wine. I thought that was quite nice. There are a lot of people out there really plugging, pushing, and I do actually see signs myself of recovery, and I think as soon as this everything's lifted, I think we're going to have an absolute boom in trade. I've been predicting this all along. I hope I'm right, and everything's showing that. I think people are very resourceful, and I think this is going to be demonstrated sort of big time. So I don't think COVID's been an excuse for anyone not to do anything. I think people have had a chance to think about what they're going to do and come back stronger with a more starting with the end in mind, where they're actually going to end up. I mean, I think you're a big fan of Greggs. You know, I know you like Greggs. You prefer them to McDonald's, don't you?
Oh, mate, I don't just like Greggs. I've even done a little banner that says Graham loves Greggs.
Yeah.
It's there right now.
Yeah.
I do. I don't just like Greggs in terms of the food.
Yeah.
I think the way they run the business, the way they run it on the back end, the way they deal with the government, the way they deal with the public, the marketing, it's all spot on.
Yeah.
And
well, there are some lessons at the moment with what Greggs are doing to everybody, because they're adapting to the marketplace. Yes, they're closing shops. They've recognised, or they believe, that the high street, as far as they're concerned, is losing money, that it's going to be easier to do something else. So yes, they are closing shops on the high street, but then they're going elsewhere. They're going to service stations. So you drive up the motorway and you've got a Greggs shop there. It's better for them. It's a captive audience, and it's a more impulse buy, and they can gain probably a slightly higher price because people have got to drive there, and they've got to park, and they're going for other reasons.
No, it gets better though. They've got drive-through now.
Have they got drive-through?
Drive-through Greggs.
Ah, well, again, the trend. None of us are going to get out of our cars soon to get a takeaway. So Greggs are going to the driveway. So they're positioning themselves stronger. I believe they're opening up in petrol forecourts. So you know, and when all cars become electric, they'll probably open up in your garage. But I don't mean your garage, I mean everybody's garage. Because the point is, they seem to have a good business model, and they're attuned to where the traffic's going. I mean, people traffic. And they're sort of saying, well, people aren't passing our doors as much anymore because people are working from home a lot more. So they'll still have high street presences, but probably on the busier streets, and they'll be wherever they think the passing train's going. So this is something, you know, that you can consider. What is the best positioning for your business? I mean, a lot of people are going online, but people that can't go online, where is the best positioning? Hopefully, some of the big stores that are closing down will have more boutique-y places, so people that can't go online as easily, like hairdressers and beauticians and that type of business, will have a nice boutique space to work from in these places. So that could be quite good. Can I say cool, or am I too old to say cool?
I think it's okay, but maybe that's just a sign that I'm too old as well, and we're all, you know, my approval in this doesn't mean a lot.
You've not got any dignity, have you, Graham? Honestly. But talking about dignity, see what I did there? Did you like this? Dignity is a funeral group, but they've lost a lot of money. They've lost a lot of money in a time when you wouldn't think they'd have lost a lot of money, but they have. And when you think about it, that means that people aren't buying the expensive funerals and all the money and everything, all the pomp that goes with it, which, you know, I don't like to give opinions, really. I leave that to Hayden and Graham, but I don't think it's a bad thing to concentrate on family at the time of funerals rather than spending fortunes with firms like Dignity. In fact, I think they're being looked at by the government's Competition and Markets Authority for unfair practice, aren't they? Because they feel that the cost of funerals are way too expensive. In other words, are you being ripped off?
It was the hidden expenses as well. They were getting people through the door, and there was that issue of vulnerability. And, you know, before you know it, you're like, yeah, just whatever.
It's not the right time to be fleecing people, is it?
No, and apparently it's been happening a lot.
Yeah, but it's not just Dignity. All these big firms, all the time, trying to gain whatever capital from you that they can. And I just don't think there's something right. But it's been recognised now, and market forces have said, you know, we're not spending this type of money at the moment, and I'm not sure whether that's here to stay. That you know, your local undertakers and your local people might be the best people to go and speak to about at these times. So they're in trouble. They're in trouble because they're not taking the money, and they're in a bit of bother because they're being looked into. Do you know who else is being looked into for unfair, uncompetitive agreements and stuff? As usual, one of the big ones, Apple.
Oh, yeah.
Always there, aren't they? All these big firms, always unfair agreements to developers, unfair this, and I think they're always trying to get one over on everyone. You know, they don't seem to act within the spirit of what's going on. They're always looking for a quick buck and make money by manipulation rather than providing good services. But that's it is what it is, isn't it? Is it you that's a fan of Apple?
No, I've gone right off them these days.
Yeah.
Partly because of all this, how closed it is, and
Yeah.
the whole. No, I'm not a big fan of it, and I'm not a big fan of their attitude to censorship. And
Yeah.
I want things like the internet to be as open as possible, so that anyone can innovate and do whatever.
Yeah.
I don't like that kind of.
So there's censorship everywhere, not just commercial censorship, not just manipulation by the big firms that want you to go to their sites and buy their products. It's amazing what power and money does. But there's still scope for smaller firms to get in on these little niches and stay local. But there's also manipulation in other areas of society, which is getting into Hayden's show. So it's interesting. If you want to come away from more a business show and get into more conspiracy and how disgusting things happen, I think Hayden show's always the place to go. Trigger warning at 10 o'clock.
10 p.m.
10 o'clock. Mine's at 7 because me and most of my clients, we fall asleep after this. But there is, as mentioned before, that I think the economy will bounce back. But there have been some grassroots, and there's been lots of things, lots of notices in the papers saying that the economy is actually doing better now than it did last August, and it's waiting for a massive jump back. So I think there is hope. I think get out there and keep doing stuff. It would actually be interesting to know what people have actually done. I mean. How have you survived? I'd love to get these stories and get you featured on Mike Between the Spreadsheets show. We've had a few interesting stories. We've got a couple lined up for next week. But it would be interesting to know how you've coped through all this crisis and passed that information on to other people. I mean, we do run groups where people can join, and it's like a give advice, receive advice type of organisation. Again, let me know, and I'll just put you in one of these groups. It doesn't cost anything. It brings me to another subject where I didn't realise how many people have been suffering with mental health problems. I mean, I'm not really surprised when you've been cooped up, business has been terrible, you've not known what's going on, because the longer a business is closed, the worse things can get. So I do sympathise, and it's not easy, and I've seen it firsthand, and I've had a couple of clients virtually in tears when they've been talking to me, so it doesn't make you feel good. But things are bouncing back, and if you do feel that you're suffering a bit this way, we do have these groups, and some of them are specialists in helping people. Just give them someone to talk to. It's not a psychological thing. It's not like going to a psychiatrist. It's just having people in the same boat to talk to. So there you go. It is out there, and we are doing this. I think, Graham, what did you say before about 4-day weeks?
Well, what on earth was that noise then? Was there a cat or something? Freaked me out then. Yes, the 4-day week thing, it's as often is the case whenever there's anything big in society, like even the Olympics will happen, and people take a couple of days off, and right now everyone's talking about the 4-day week and how it's going to save the world and all that. And I specifically and intentionally did not talk to you off air about this because I just wanted your opinion as it comes.
It's difficult to say because it's a bit like the UBI argument, universal basic income, where everybody should get an income, a livable income, whether or not they work, and then they get more money on top of that. I think the same sort of argument, will people piss around if they've got 4 days instead of 5 days? You've got to pay them for 5 days, or will productivity be better? I think we're going to wait and see with that. I mean, it's difficult. I just don't know. I think part of me thinks that a UBI society that is innovative and pay their way whether it's with money or with production or with art or with literature or with whatever. But I just don't know. A 4-day week, you know, I suppose it depends what the other 3 days are put for. I mean, most weekends I just watch telly. I don't do much. Now that the kids are older, I've got nowhere to go, nothing to do in COVID. There's nothing to do anyway. But I honestly don't know, Graham.
I mean, would you, like, in theory, you know, so say someone had to make 200 whatevers in a week, 200 widgets in a week, and they said to you, right, I can do it in 4 days instead of 5. Is that okay by you? Because I'll be happier the days that I'm here and stuff.
It's, in Keynes, the economist.
Keynes?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know him.
What's wrong with him?
Oh, you know what? That's not even... We're too close to the end of the show. Do you want to spend the whole show moaning about...
He was a good man.
Yeah,
he did a lot of good.
I don't doubt that, and he had a lot of good intentions.
But anyway, honestly, I like these conversations with an economist.
No, let's just get caught.
So basically, he put this through decades ago, that, you know, if you could produce 100 widgets a week, and then you got technology that could produce the same amount of widgets in a day, that worker should get the same money for the week, but now he only has to work a day. The problem is that technology does make things quicker, better, and easier, but we don't need 100 widgets a day now. We need 500 widgets. So, 100 widgets a week. We need 500 widgets. So it's that sort of idea. And when companies realise that they can sell more, then, and the law says it's 4 days a week, but then suddenly they realise that they've got another day a week, they'll probably get somebody else in 1 day a week. Or I don't know.
That's kind of my thought. Like I think I worry when there's conversations around government with things like this, because they invariably mess it up, and they create so many loopholes and stuff that. There's always you're always going to find a way around it, and I think for me, if you're running a company that's 4 days a week, then the company that's running 5 days a week is going to trash you into the ground.
Yeah, because they'll produce more. Because we're not a closed economy; we've got a world economy. So not everybody does the same thing. So we're always looking for more production. So I think it is a difficult question. That the answer for me, if I could get 5 days work target done in 4 days, would I have a 4-day week? And the answer is, in theory, yes. But things change, because then other firms come along that have got 5-day week people, and therefore producing not so much more, but more for the same price. And that puts you as a disadvantage. So I think it's got to be something that everybody does or nobody does.
Yes.
And I think, but in principle, you know, if I could achieve my costings and my targets in 1 day, I'd only have a 1-day week. That's just it. But it depends. But then I would be a massive disadvantage, because the technology that enables all that work to be done in 1 day is the same technology that a competitor will use, but they will have 5 days worth of production.
And there's that thing, isn't it? He never answers the phone on Fridays.
There's another thing.
But I do. I'll take care of you. If you need help on Friday, I'm right here.
Because it's not just about doing the job; it's about customer service as well. And robots aren't quite there yet.
It's a good question. Sometimes I do do 4-day weeks sometimes, but then sometimes I do 7-day weeks, and it depends. And I think sometimes if you've got someone on a fixed contract and a scale, fixed hours and stuff, I'm not convinced. I have seen a lot of good arguments for it, and I do think we should have a better work-life balance and all the rest of it. I think some people should, because let them enjoy the life.
I think whatever makes everyone happy.
Just keep the government out of it.
Well, we need the government. Without government, we fall into your world with the black economy, and no one's ever got any money. And
I'm not a communist.
No, just not very capable in a great world. But going back, we're coming to the end of the show. Are we at the end of the show? Are we? Yeah. Is it?
Are you not desperate? Yeah.
No. So we're about to see my bloopers, and I want to say a great thanks to Graham, because not Graham, sorry, a great thanks to Hayden, because without Hayden here, this is what the show would look like. So enjoy the bloopers. Please do contact me if you need anything, especially if it involves paying me something. And I'll see you next week. Thank you very much for joining me. Good night. Oh, sorry. Yeah. I'm Stephen Englander. Hello, I'm Stephen Englander. Hi, I'm Stephen Englander. I'm Stephen Englander. Hello, thank you for... No. Hello, I'm Stephen Englander. No. Hi, I'm Stephen Englander. Hi, I'm Stephen Englander. I can't even say my own name right now. Should I just say that again or start the lot again?
Start again.
It's welcome to my channel. Lost it now. Should I start again? Just say it again. Say it again.
Sorry, I'm Stephen Englander.
Let me just write the
Okay.
bullet points, okay?
Name, Stephen Englander.
So,
Just in case.
I'd love you to join me. And what else? And I've got an idea. Like, could someone stand near the camera with these? Hi, I'm Stephen Englander. Welcome to my YouTube channel. On my channel, you will find lots of information on how to improve your business and learn from the lessons I have learnt. Oh,
No, it's not going to work.
no,
2 minutes.
I'd never be a good script writer, a good actor. Would I? Been in business for over 40 years, and I've...
This is Stephen Englander. With over 40 years of business experience, he has learned lessons the hard way, and he will share this with you to make you a business titan. Join Stephen live every Thursday at 7 p.m. and with content throughout the week. Click like, subscribe, and touch his bell for notifications.
Okay, well, I'll have to live with it. I am what I am.